is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Welcome to the show. It is Wacky Wednesday here live from the SWBC Mortgage Living Room in Frisco, Texas. Thank you, Wingstop, for bringing us another episode of Hanging with the Boys. And fellas, before we start the show, our good buddy, dedicated listener, I think he's from Canada because at least that's what it says in his Twitter profile, is he has the Canadian flag. Rador sent me a tweet, and his tweet, let me see if I can read it verbatim. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it.
Wow. Louisiana education.
Here we go.
I told y'all that. Louisiana education. Y'all want to keep telling me I'm wrong. I
was excited about your dude from Canada, but now we don't even want to hear it, bro.
I got it. All right, here it is. Shannon, hang the poster, brother. It's embarrassing you taking the poster out. You already said you have the equipment. I'd drop you in a second for the company that is paying you. First off, Rador, thank you for your consideration, but I do not get paid 1 cent to do this podcast, okay? Except free wings and free donuts and free cookies. By the way, the cookies are coming tomorrow since there's no show on Friday. Disclaimer, we will not have a show
There's no show on Friday.
Change. No show on Friday.
There's no show on Friday.
Nate,
check your
you
email,
really
Nate.
got to start reading these work emails, brother.
Check your
you
email.
really got to start. You really got to start. This one was from the boss. This one was from the boss. This one was actually from the boss.
What is it, Mr. Jones?
Well,
if it's from Mr. Jones, I get that one because I got a certain ring for him. I got a certain ring for him. It's like, show me the money. It's turning me on. Was it from that boss? Because it's from Derek Eagleton. I got the horns down for him. Okay. Texas Longhorns can't even win a homecoming game in a virus year. Come on, Texas.
Okay, now he's made all the Texas fans.
And they're about to lose again. And they're about to lose again today in basketball.
I heard they was finna cancel the game, man. At the end of the year, they're like, we finna buy out before we even be out. We won't even be in the rankings next year.
All right, so I don't get paid by the sponsor, but the sponsor helps keep us on the air. The organization gets paid, so thank you for that.
Wow,
secondly,
Shannon, way to go, man.
I thought I was.
There's people out there that don't have jobs, and you.
Nate, just stop. Nate, just stop. I didn't say I was looking for money. That did not come out of my mouth.
Shannon, man, you usually touch my heart, bro, but that was kind of hard. Yeah,
Nate,
don't you agree, Jesse?
Nope, I'm not agreeing. Nope.
Nate,
don't you agree, Kurt?
Nate, you and Jesse ain't doing this show for free. Why don't you forego
yes,
your
I am doing. Yes, I am.
No, you're not
doing this show for free, man.
No, you're not.
I'm doing it out of the goodness of my heart for the people, the fans, the loved ones.
Not true.
You put up a Twitter poll?
Yes. Nice. So here's the question, Raider. I am thinking I am giving Wingstop more value by making that poster, as pathetic as it looks with the duct tape on it from the Funtown RV shows we did. It's an interactive part of the beginning of the intro of the show. Every show I unroll it and it becomes part of the show. If I hang it back here on the wall, like Kurt and Jesse have done so kindly.
Yes.
In the past, and even Nate at one point, it just becomes this static.
Yeah, I bring mine back. Every time I get some wings, y'all notice I come up and
I do.
I need your wings, baby. I need to be continually be sponsored.
So my question is, I put a poll out. Is it better for it to be an interactive part of the beginning of the show like it is, or should I hang this on the wall and it be like I said I was going to do probably 2 months ago, and I haven't gotten around to it. So there's a poll out there on Hanging with the Boys Twitter. I will retweet it. You guys let me know, and whatever the results come back, I will either hang it or I will keep doing it like we have been doing for the past 2 or 3 months. Thank you, Wingstop, for the poster. Thank you for the free food. And now we can
the
start
post
the show.
is just the way you handle the post is the way you handle the Cowboys, man.
Life.
You in one day, you out one day.
The poster is there every day, unlike the Cowboys. The poster
but just
shows
for a
up
certain
every
amount
day.
of times. You do the show
poster
every day
is
for the
there every day.
Cowboys.
Yes.
Do you think Cowboys all day?
Yes, because I work and they employ me, and that's what I get paid to do.
Oh, come on, man.
All right. All right, let's get into the show. Go vote. Go vote. I'll do whatever the voting says. Thank you, Radar, for calling me out. Okay. Schedule's all jacked up this week. I thought there was a game last night. There's a game today. Our game has been moved twice now. It's now on what day is it even on? Is it on Tuesday? Is that what it is? First time in Cowboys history they've had a game on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Question for you guys as players, how bad does that jack you up? Because if there's one thing I know about players and coaches and organizations is they are major creatures of habit. Everything happens at the exact same time. Road trips are the exact same. Home games are the same. Your meetings are at the same time. And when it's altered a little bit, it messes with you. How bad does it mess with you as a player, these games, league-wide being shifted around like they are?
I've never had to go through that, man. I've never had to go through that. So I know that, you could set your clock by how Coach Johnson and Coach Landry done things, during the off season and the season. But I've never had that shake up like that. Even when you're injured as a player, they have a regiment for you. So Jesse may can go into that a little bit more, because once I started, it went for so many years where it went until they changed coaches, and then he started his regiment. So I don't know how they feel, man. I really don't.
I agree with Nate. Again, we're in an unprecedented year where things have been done like we've never seen them done before. And normally, unless there's a seriously catastrophic event, if your game is supposed to be played on said day, you play on that day. But I can speak to is, you're right, Shannon. We are creatures of habit. We eat at the same place. Our manicures and pedicures are on a certain day. You see the chiropractor on a certain day. Your masseuse is on a certain day. Your massage is on a certain day with your masseuse. I mean, whatever your routine is, your acupuncture, your cupping, whatever those things are that you are, it is a dedicated routine, and players of all sports hate to have their routine interrupted, because it's a mental thing that just kind of gets you prepared for what you have to do on Sunday. And so when that's interrupted, not once, but twice, and now, you think you're playing here and you're playing there, and now, normally, and it may sound like something that's so minuscule, like, oh man, you don't need a massage all the time. Yes, you do. Mentally and physically, I need that. And, at the beginning of the year, she may have locked me in for every Thursday at 3:00. And then all of a sudden now it goes off, and now we're playing on a Tuesday. And now I'm like, hey, can I get it on a Monday? She's like, I'm all booked up on a Monday. You're like, what? And now you have to go through either getting someone else or not getting it at all. And it sounds so minuscule, but it is one of those things that can just mess with your mind, because you're like, man, I don't feel the same. Like, I normally know how my body to feel on this day as I get, towards my preparation for Sunday. And when those things get thrown off, it can really mess with you mentally, man. I'm telling you, players are very meticulous, superstitious, and just that routine is so important to guys. When you hear about that, hey, learn how to be a professional, it's not just to study habits, it's about building into your everyday life during the season what you need to do, whatever it is you need to do to get yourself ready for game day. And that's the part of being a professional. And when that's interrupted, guys are affected by that. Like, mentally, guys, and physically, guys are affected by that.
Do you think that this, Cowboys were supposed to play tomorrow against the Ravens. Now that's Tuesday. Coming off that bad loss on Thanksgiving, the tragedy with Marcus Paul, do you think this extra time off is a good thing? Or because they're now going to have to play Tuesday and turn around and then play Sunday, in the long run, is this going to be a bad, tough one?
Quickly, let me put something in there. You don't want that You don't want that because the disadvantage to this team is like Jesse's always said, they don't know one another like like the Ravens do. So, you don't get, if they were letting these guys in, it was so much more if they would let these guys into the facility and they could practice. This would be an advantage, especially for the young guys that you got in place. This would be an advantage. But since you don't, the guys are virtually still trying to learn one another. This is a disadvantage for the Dallas Cowboys. Jess, let me hear what you have to say on that.
No, I agree. I think the only benefit of this is there guys who need a little bit more rest, right? If there's guys battling some things, some guys are like, whew, I'm glad I got a little bit more extra time to rehab this or to get better there. But again, it's still messing with your routine, and this is such a unique season, man, and just in everything that we're doing and seeing. We got games on Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights, and I mean, guys are flying in. We got 19 guys that can't play. I mean, this is just one of those weird 2020. I've had it up to here with everything 2020, and I'm just like, this is just another brick into the wall I keep running my head into with this 2020 season.
You know what though? I want to say this right quick, something LeBron and a few other NBA players said, and coaches and a few announcers. And I love when they said this: the mentally tough will survive. The mentally tough will survive because everybody's going to get beat up. But the mentally tough will survive.
For the young players, they don't know any better. This is their first year in the NFL. Would they maybe adjust better than a veteran?
Nah, creatures of habit. It still goes back to that. Even in college, they had routines of how they handled things and what they did. And a lot of players, they like, in a lot of cases, being told what to do and where to be and what time to be there because they can set their clocks and don't worry about it. And then they can fit everything else around that. That's part of that professionalism Jesse's talking about.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, Nate. It's that as much as you see these big behemoth men, you're like, who's telling these guys? We need structure. We strive off structure. We need to be. This is why one of the, if you're good at it, like the whole personal trainer thing, like everybody's doing, every guy that pays all this money to these other personal trainers, they don't need them to instruct them. They don't need the instruction. I know everything that I'm supposed to be doing and what I need to be fixed, but I pay for you to tell me. I pay for you to put it and give it to me in an instructional form. That's all I pay.
Right.
What can a guy, right? Let's think about this. What can a guy or girl tell me about the position that I play professionally? I'm not saying that people aren't knowledgeable of it. I know everything that I need to do about that position. I know all the little idiosyncrasies that need to be done to have success at that position. What I pay for is someone else to make me have to go and do them every single day to get better.
They hold you accountable and make you stay
all for your money.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. Like, that's what we thrive off of. We thrive off of that structure, that setting where someone is like, all right, Jess, be here at 8 o'clock. It's because it's almost been beaten to our heads and programmed to our heads since, middle school, high school, that, hey, practice at this time, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And while we always say, I am my own man, I control my this and that, we're always like, hey, so what we have to be again? Okay, tell me where you want me to go. Okay, tell me what you want me to do. All right, now get out the way. I'll go do it. Once you tell me what to do, get out of my way, then I'll go and do it. That's what we want to be assertive after we're told what to do. It's a funny and interesting dynamic of how the brain of an athlete it works.
Yeah, that's
the only time that we're gonna really not be told what to do is when it's come time to get our contracts done. Then we want to tell some folks what to do. All right.
Yeah. Well, how does that work with the trainers though? I mean, because I would like a hitter in baseball. If his hands start dropping a little bit, instead of hitting line drives, he's hitting fly balls. It's just those little bitty techniques that they sometimes need a guy to come in and show them what to do. Do you get that playing receiver, cornerback, lineman?
Okay. In my case, it depends on the person really. When we say, because me, I didn't need a guy. That I needed a forceful guy. I didn't want I didn't need no tag along guy. And
No yes man.
Yeah, I don't need no yes man. Cause if you're a yes man, I could just stay right there with the Cowboys and eat 8 donuts a day. Because when I went to train, I had a guy that was going to be on my behind and saying, "Hey man, what is your goals? What do you want to be? How do you want to handle this season?" I needed a driver. I didn't need a putter. I needed a driver, dog. Somebody that's going to go and get me. And so Jesse may had a different case. And I know a lot of athletes go and get their buddies and their friends, just want to give them a paycheck. I don't deal like that. You have to earn yours.
Yeah, Kurt, it's the same thing, and maybe a little bit different for linemen, but there's every position, your opposition are looking for keys. Right? Hey,
Yeah.
and in his stance, what is he doing when it's a run block? What is he doing when it's a pass block? How was his foot stance when he's getting ready to pull? How was his foot stance when he's getting ready to set? So is he early hands when he go out and block, or is he late hands? Because now it's this chess match. So for us, offensively, I'm always trying to eliminate the little things that are giving away what I want to do to the defender. So if I'm running a route and I begin to raise up, well, that's an indicator to the defender that I'm getting ready to do something, right? And now he's putting all this calculation into his head. Okay, well, Jesse is +2 split, right? And it's only a certain amount of routes that he can run from a +2 split. So if I begin to raise up at about 10 yards, he's knowing at 10 yards, he's either running an in route or some sort of curl route or something of that magnitude. So he's picking up on that, and after a while, he begins to catch a bead. And if it's let's just say it's the Giants or the football team from Washington or Philly. Well, we play these guys twice a year. So now I've been through a game, and if I've given you indicators that you've able to pick up on, the second time around, you're now able to do something different and to affect what I want to do. So you get what you're training in the offseason, and you try to work on eliminating some of those things. If you're not good at the line of scrimmage, how can I get better with moves off the line of scrimmage? How can I get better through my route? So it's all those little things. The big stuff, if you get to the National Football League, you're great. I don't care what level you want to. Yeah, you have your Hall of Fame great. You have your Pro Bowl great. Yeah. You have your average great, and then you have your Jag, just another guy great. But if you get to this level, you are a great player. It's all about those little things and the gift from God that Tyreek Hill is 4.2 speed. Who taught? Ain't nobody teach him that. I can't teach Tyreek Hill how to be 4.2. So that's a God gift. But what I can teach Tyreek Hill is how to get in and out of breaks better while using that speed, how to set routes up. So that's the kind of stuff that you kind of do as a trainer.
Let me say this right quick. Is Andy Reid not one of the best coaches? Is his scouting department not one of the best? This is one of the guys that he is like Coach Switzer used to be when he was at Oklahoma. They say, Coach, he can't get in and out of breaks, but he runs a 4.2. Andy Reid said, bring him to me, and I'll find a way to you. Bruh, I'm just being honest.
That's amazing that guys pick up like you said, just rising up at a certain point or whatever. That's amazing.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Well, just
no, it's not.
People don't think about the little intricacies.
No, it's not.
All right, whatever.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And I'm going to tell you why.
You quit bullying Kurt. He's trying to talk.
No, Kurt. I'm bullying what he's saying. I'm bullying what he's saying, not Kurt. I'm like Jesse, and I just want to say that. Y'all have a nice day. I just mess with Kurt. Hey, no.
I know where he was going with that.
See, but you know what? No. On a serious note, I'm just trying to have fun, man. That's why Dez didn't play with us forever, and that's why Fitzpatrick playing for the Cardinals forever, because he himself picked up on them little things you're talking about, Kurt. I'm just playing. And Shannon, stay out of me and Kurt's, because I was just going somewhere with this, and you almost ruined it.
All right, you know what? We're going to take our first break. We're going to do two things in the next segment. One is, Kurt, I heard you laugh at Jesse when he said his pedicures and manicures. As a man that has got a pedicure and a manicure, I want Jesse to defend himself. So, Jesse, you get to rebuttal Kurt's little girl giggle that he had when you said,
"Oh, come on,
manicure and pedicure." And then two, I'm going to ask Jesse a question that we have never asked him on this show that I really want to know the answer to. So tune in, find out what that is when we come back on the next segment of Hanging with the Boys.
Watching too much TV at home, Shannon.
Is your family a Cowboys family? Have you taken holiday photos at the Star? Was your wedding theme blue and silver? Have you convinced your kids them is spelled with a D? If so, every game day feels like a vacation to you, so treat it like one. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com. Proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Just like all of you, we at SeatGeek can't wait until we're back in the stands at full strength cheering on the Cowboys and singing along to our favorite songs again. We're using this time to make discovering, buying, and selling tickets to events in Dallas easier. Plus, every ticket purchased on SeatGeek is protected by our buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back or better if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. Download the SeatGeek app today, and when the time is right, let's go. SeatGeek.
Grab some OtterBox gear and get ready for Hanging with the Boys. From rugged venture coolers to tough as nails elevation tumblers, we've got what you need to keep your game day drinks frosty and your football feast ice cold. And with cases, screen protectors, and power accessories, you can defend your phone and stay connected to every play. Gear up at OtterBox.com and amp up the fun of every Cowboys game. That's OtterBox.com.
Dear, it's 1908. Don't you think we should get electricity?
And stop using candles to see at night.
It's just electricity lights up the room fast. It's more reliable than candles blowing out, and people seem to love it nationwide.
Well, candles are...
Dear, did you just run into the wall?
Nope. May I have a new candle, please?
Historically, switching to new technology is a no-brainer. Today, it's AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure, and nationwide. Switch to AT&T 5G. It's not complicated. 5G requires compatible plan. May not be in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Adjust your cleats, adjust your pads, even adjust your helmet, but seriously, don't adjust your underwear because once it's seen, it cannot be unseen. Tommy John's fabric keeps you cool and dry on the field or in the stands, and now they even have loungewear. Yes, sir, loungewear. Shop underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 15% off your first order. TommyJohn.com/Cowboys. All right, Jesse, before I pose the question that has never been posed on this show.
You should be nervous.
I really want to know the answer to it. I really want to know the answer. We've hinted around the question, but we've never really addressed the question. Before we get to that, I want to give you a chance to defend yourself for getting manicures and pedicures.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I chuckled, and it has nothing to do with Jesse. This goes back. This is 20 years ago. I was with the Rangers, and I had to go out on a autograph signing with a couple of players, and it was at a mall. It was miserable. It was a terrible mall. They didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be there. But we had about an hour, or maybe not that long, 30 minutes to kill before the autograph session started. So I'm like, okay, guys, go, you got 30 minutes, go do whatever. So they're wandering around the mall. Well, it gets time for the autograph session. People are waiting, and they're not there. They've disappeared. So I have to trek around the mall to find these guys. Yeah. And where do I find them? They're in a salon getting their nails done. Yeah. And what made it funny was one of the guys you could tell he regularly got manicures. It wasn't no big deal. But the other guy, it was his first time. And he saw me see him, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and he was so embarrassed. He couldn't believe it. And this is like a big slugger, you'd never think about it. And I know, now it's not that big a deal, but 20 years ago it was kind of a rare thing, it seemed like. So that's why I was chuckling. It brought back a kind of a funny memory.
All right, you get a pass. That's understandable.
But you still chuckle. Jesse, answer the question.
There's nothing I have to defend on getting a manicure and a pedicure. Here's the thing, if you've gotten one then you understand. If you
yes,
know,
sir.
then you know. What?
Yes, sir.
It's just what, like I'm in need for one right now. But if you can see, like, you know, I need to get another manicure, but right now, and usually Thursdays. What word do they use? They call it a metrosexual. Like Thursdays is my grooming day, right? I go to the barbershop, I get a shape up on Thursday, I get a pedicure on Thursday, you know, I shave below my Tommy Johns on Thursday. Like I get myself.
We didn't need to know all that. That's too much.
Come on, man.
My fault. That's my fault. That's my fault. That's my fault.
But I do my fat feet too, Jesse. I do my fat feet too.
I know. Listen, and here's how I originally started this. My grandmother, about 15, 20 years ago, my grandmother, she was clipping her nails, and she said, "Come here, let me see your hand," and she clipped my nails, and she always told me, she said, "Jesse," she said, "a woman looks at three things when she sees a man."
Right.
She said 3 things when she sees a man: his shoes, is his nails clean, and for his wallet.
Grandma knew.
And so at that time, I was like, "For real?" And she was like, "Yeah." And so she clipped my nails, and then she put a clear coat of polish on my nails, and I was so afraid to leave. I thought it was like, you know, girly. I was so afraid to leave the house with this clear coat of nail polish on my nails. And I go to school the next day, and all of the girls are like, "Oh, you get your nails done? Look how clean his nails is." And that's all I needed. That is all I needed. And I was like, "Grandma, do it again. Like, can we do it again? Do it again." And then once I got to the point where, getting the pedicures and the manicures professionally, oh my God, if you haven't got one, if you have not gotten one, please go get, fellas. Not even for the women. Like, I don't even do it for the women.
Do it for
I
yourself,
do it because
bro.
it feels good. I go in there. Shout out to Yin. That's my nail tech. Yin, what's going on, girl? I relax. I sit back, man. They know what I like. They know. I don't have to say nothing, and it is a good hour of just quiet. I close my eyes. I relax. I put the phone down, and they go to work.
I'm gonna give you some advice. If y'all have never gotten one, if they offer the hot stones, do that. If they offer the wax, where they put your legs in the wax, do that.
Yeah.
If you get
called the paraffin wax or something like that.
Yes. If you get a manicure and they offer a forearm massage, that is one of the best feelings you will ever have in life.
Wow.
And if you go to a barber or a stylist that offers hot towel treatments or facials, do yourself a favor. You're going to feel really weird if you do any of this stuff for the first time. If it makes you feel better to go with your wife or your girlfriend or your homeboy, do it. But do yourself a favor. If you've never gotten any of those 3 things, go take some time and do it. Oh my God, Kurt!
Oh, Kurt,
you need to go.
I've gotten the towel.
Yeah.
I've gotten the towel. I've never done the other.
My girl name is Tina, man, and I thought y'all didn't like the hot towel effect.
No, we just don't want to find injuries.
On my face, not my neck.
I just don't want a hot towel when I need neck surgery.
Okay.
All right, you know what? We're gonna. Yes. I'm gonna put the question, because we ran long in the first segment. I'm gonna put the question to Jesse off for the second segment. I know that was a short segment, but I want to make sure we get out of here on time. I'm building this up way too much. Y'all are gonna be super disappointed because it's not that big of a deal. Don't be nervous, but tune in to the next segment and we will find out what I've always wanted to ask Jesse and just hadn't got around to it. Next on Hangin' with the Boys.
Just like all of you, we at SeatGeek can't wait until we're back in the stands at full strength cheering on the Cowboys and singing along to our favorite songs again. We're using this time to make discovering, buying, and selling tickets to events in Dallas easier. Plus, every ticket purchased on SeatGeek is protected by our buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back or better if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. Download the SeatGeek app today, and when the time is right, let's go. SeatGeek.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Grab some OtterBox gear and get ready for Hanging with the Boys. From rugged venture coolers to tough as nails elevation tumblers, we've got what you need to keep your game day drinks frosty and your football feast ice cold. And with cases, screen protectors, and power accessories, you can defend your phone and stay connected to every play. Gear up at OtterBox.com and amp up the fun of every Cowboys game. That's OtterBox.com.
Dear, it's 1908. Don't you think we should get electricity?
And stop using candles to see at night.
It's just electricity lights up the room fast. It's more reliable than candles blowing out, and people seem to love it nationwide.
Well, candles are...
Dear, did you just run into the wall?
Nope. May I have a new candle, please?
Historically, switching to new technology is a no-brainer. Today, it's AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure, and nationwide. Switch to AT&T 5G. It's not complicated. 5G requires compatible plan. May not be in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Back to the SWBC Mortgage Living Room. Do not miss the virtual Christmas extravaganza presented by Albertsons and Tom Thumb. The most electrifying holiday show of the season can be watched on Dallas Cowboys Facebook and Twitter on December 11th and 24th at 6 p.m. Central or on demand at dallascowboys.com/Christmas, I think. Yes. There you go. Sorry. I was like, I read this yesterday. Did I read the right one? I had to go back and look and see. But yes, it was 2 days in a row that I was supposed to read that. Okay. I wish y'all could hear the conversation we had in the break, but you can't, so we'll move on. Jesse, the thing I love about you, Jesse, is you're cocky, you're confident, you're full of yourself, but you're also a realist and you have humility and you will talk about real things, and you're a real person, and that's why I love you, Jesse. And we have hinted around at this a million times on this show, and we never really asked you why. And it popped into my head yesterday. I was like, I'm going to ask Jesse on the show. What part of you made it to the league, and like you said earlier in the show, if you make it to the league and you make it on a roster, even a practice squad, you are a great player. And you referred to yourself as a jag, just another guy, and blah, blah, blah. We joke around with you about getting called from behind and all that stuff. But what part of your game, what prevented you from being a starting receiver in the league? Was it one part of your game? Was it a combination of a lot of things? Why were you, because you played, obviously, you played in games and you were around and you were on teams, but what prevented you from breaking through and becoming a starting player on the roster?
I would say two things. One, we all know, we talk about it, we laugh about it. I got run down. I wasn't the fastest guy in the world, okay? Speed, I wasn't the fastest player. I was a really good route runner. I had really good hands. I caught everything, but I wasn't fast. I just wasn't fast. And the second thing is, it's fit. What I mean by fit is that the right fit can make you a star. The right coaches can make you a star.
Amen.
If you get into the right system, and not everybody is able to do so, but if you get into the right system, you could play for 10, 15, 20 years. And I mean legitimately, if you get into the right system. I was never, and a part of this I blame on myself. My rookie season, I chased money instead of fit. I was an undrafted free agent. I was a preferred free agent, right? So as soon as the draft ends, my phone is blowing up with all these teams calling. And this is the part of the draft where teams are trying to get players and they're giving them signing bonuses and stuff like that. We all see it happen. Like, oh, this guy went to that team because they gave them $50,000, $100,000. At the time, the draft was over. One of the three teams that were like really hot on my trail was the Bengals, the Ravens, and the St. Louis Rams at the time. And the right fit for me would have been to go to the Baltimore Ravens when you look at what they did and what my skill set was, or the Rams. I chose the Bengals. Again, not understanding the business. At the time, they had Chad Ochocinco, TJ Hushmanzada, and rest in peace, Chris Henry. So your top 3 spots are solidified. 2 out of those 3 spots, they paid millions to, and Chris was eventually going to get his payday before he passed. But they offered $12,000 more than the other 2 teams. So me being young, dumb, and inexperienced, I did what most people do who don't have any money. They go chasing where the money was at. Had I gone to Baltimore or had I gone to St. Louis, the skies could have been the limit, because now I'm competing against Chad Johnson, who at that time, you got to remember, there was a point in time where Chad Johnson was literally the best receiver in the league. About a 2-year, maybe 2-year, 3-year span where he was the man. TJ Hushmanzada was one of the best route runners I've ever seen, and Chris Henry was the evolution of the jump ball receiver. He was fast. He was 6'4", 6'5". So it was like they had a combination of superstar, route runner, jump ball getter. And then that's when I started understanding the whole special teams core guys. They had a guy by the name of Tad Perry. We had a guy by the name of Sam Hurd. I mean, there's guys on each team where you're like, oh, this guy will be on that roster for 10 years, right? Nate, you had guys like Bill Bates, right? Yes. Guys like that who found their role. Like Bill Bates, let's be honest, like Bill Bates wasn't a prolific athlete. He found a fit and it worked for 10 plus years. So I think part of it was I wasn't fast at all. Second, it was the fit wasn't right. I didn't have like when Jason Garrett cut me, he told me he wished he had 53 guys like me. And I was like, well, you got one. Why would you get rid of that one? So I'm like, you chose Kevin Ogletree and Dwayne Harris over me. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So I think fit, and boy, if I had like a low 4.5, 4.4, shoot, man, I wouldn't be talking to y'all. I'll still be playing.
And the thing about this evolution of receiver now, just think if you were playing now, Jesse, how valuable you would be if you were playing now. Because a guy like you, it's one on every team now, and it's not just being a special teams guy. Right. It's one of you on every team because they value that guy in the slot. He don't need to be fast, but can keep those chains moving. Mm-hmm. And wow. So I think about it and I look at you, man, and I see how well built you are, man. And well,
talk about being well built, baby. You
yeah.
There we go. That's the Jesse I love. That's the arrogant Jesse I love. A little bit of humility and a whole lot of self-confidence. I love it. Nate, how much?
Shannon, we love you too, man. Because boy, the way you do it, can't nobody do it.
Oh, thanks.
Wow.
Thanks. I don't know if that's a good thing. Thank you, Nate. Thank you.
That's a good thing, man. And I want to tell Derek Eagle to know he ever not have my boy on the show tonight. We got a show tonight, and they kick Shannon off.
By the way, Kyle Yeomans will be hosting Cowboys Crosstalk tonight. So
kick
y'all
my
tune
boy
in.
Shannon off the show.
It's going to be a good show. It'll be Nate, Barry Church, and Kyle. It'll be the the pregame show that y'all do basically without Isaiah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
see the writing on the wall, Shannon.
It'll be a good show. No,
see the writing on the wall, brother.
They need Shannon, man.
Yeah, I'm not able to go to the facility for 5 days because I am in quarantine protocol just to be safe. So because I had a visitor for Thanksgiving, and so I'm out this week. So Kyle's going to do such a good job tonight, though. They're going to kick me off the show because that dude is going places, man. I love that guy. Man. He's a hell of a host, man.
He's good.
He's a
Kyle
good dude.
is doing it. Kyle is doing it. Kyle has a national commercial, like a national. I won't say the sponsor's name because they don't pay us; they pay Kyle. Yeah. But he has a national commercial.
Does he really?
Yeah, Kyle do his thing, man.
With the burger chain. I was listening. What? It came on pen. I came on listening, working out. I was like, is that Kyle? Yeah.
I've heard his.
Understand, man. They love him in basketball. They love him
Yeah,
in
he
basketball.
does
Yeah,
ESPN
They
games,
love him.
doesn't he? Basketball.
Yeah, they love him in basketball. He love it. Oh man, I love that basketball. I'm like, oh dog, hold on now.
Yeah.
You're in front
Yeah,
of
he's
some for dogs. Don't do that.
He's a play-by-play basketball guy. He's worked in minor league baseball. He's done a lot of stuff. He's
high school football.
Man, he is talented. He is.
Where's he from? Shannon, Louisiana?
He is not from Louisiana. He's from. I believe he's from here. I believe he's from this area.
Look at Jesse frowned up. Nah.
I thought
he's
from Waco. I thought he was outside of.
Chris Beam just told us he's from Waco. He's a pretty good Call of Duty player too. He's.
I got one more question man, before we get off. I got one more question before we get off.
What you got?
And just like you wanted to ask Jesse a question and took up all our time asking Jesse a question, I have one question that I need for you to answer tomorrow. Okay?
Okay.
What is your experience at the stadium? We have not heard it yet. We want to hear that tomorrow, Shannon. And I refuse not that for another segment to go by. So we want to hear
full segment of that tomorrow. Tune in. You won't want to miss that. I'll do that in the last segment. That way we can get all the football talk in the first two segments. That way everybody can tune out and
game tonight.
Talking about that.
2:30. Ravens.
Yeah.
Steelers.
Yes, there is a game.
We should have done our show during the game, and we could have done commentary. About doing it.
Kurt,
that'd have been nice, man.
Hey, we already got people asking us if you even pay attention to the show when you're over there banging on your keyboard. We don't need you distracted with a football.
Come on.
Now you attacking him. Yeah, I can't attack him, but you can attack him.
I'm staying on top of things here.
I had somebody ask me what you're doing during the show when you're banging on the keyboard and they can hear you. So I'm going to give you a chance to explain what's going on over there. Are you doing research for the show? Or
he looking for them
thick
girls.
Yeah.
He looking for the nearest trailer park he can slide by on lunch.
They ain't doing that, that's for sure.
Trailer park near me.
Normally, I apologize. I didn't realize people could hear me typing. Normally, I'm just researching stats or reading stories or going through Twitter a lot. So I apologize.
Well, I'm glad you made.
Once in a while, I do have an email pop up that I need to respond to.
Honesty is the best part.
So Kurt is reading stories during our show. That's
sometimes
awesome.
I apologize.
That is
Chris
awesome.
Beam, get on Kurt. You got on me for looking down at my phone during the show. Make sure you get on Kurt the same way you got on me, Chris Beam.
Most of the time, it's Twitter and all that. So I apologize. I didn't know people could hear me. I apologize.
Trailer park,
it's okay.
you'll wallow and make you holler.
It's okay.
That's why he doesn't talk. Stories.
Tomorrow we get to watch. We get to watch our next opponent today at 2:30. We'll watch the Ravens Steelers game, and then we'll talk about that.
Cowboys will be watching that. What? They're getting together in position groups and watching the game. Is that what I heard?
Is that what they're doing? I haven't heard that.
I don't know if that really makes a difference. I'll be watching video anyway, but it'll be kind of a new way to do things, I guess.
Okay. Well, cool. Well, let's
having a pizza party.
Let's watch it too, and then we can talk about it tomorrow.
They're taking the run with it the wrong way. Don't do that.
Well, they having a pizza party.
Some games are like they're having a pizza party, so don't do that.
Who's the chef?
No, that's what they're going to see. They're going to take your comment and run with it.
We'll get cookies tomorrow, thanks to Tiff's Treats. We'll get those tomorrow. Jesse, you want me to send them to the school or to your house?
To my office, please. I'll be at the office tomorrow.
Office. All right.
Thank you.
Fellas, it's been real. Let's give Chris a couple minutes back of his day. We will resume tomorrow with some Cowboys Ravens talk, and we will not have a show on Friday, so tomorrow we'll get it in. Good seeing you. Jesse, Nate, Kurt, Chris Beam, thank you guys. We'll be back tomorrow on Hangin' with the Boys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!